So I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
It's a
What's
joke.
up?
What do you call a guy with a rubber toe?
Rubber toe.
Yeah, what's his
A
name?
rubber man. I don't know.
Roberto. What else you gonna name him?
That's so.
Okay, you want to say the other one?
Yeah.
Okay, you go. You go.
Next one.
What do you call a cow with no legs?
I don't know.
Ground beef.
Look, that was.
What do you call a cow with only 2 legs?
Half a pound beef. What? I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say.
Lean beef.
The one with the.
What do you call a girl with 1 leg?
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Eileen.
Okay, that's too much. Oh, shit.
Where
If
does
you
she
know-
work?
You know, no, stop.
One more.
Yo.
Where does she work?
Where-
IHOP.
That's from
God.
2.5 Men.
I heard that one before. I remember that one.
Holy shit. Okay,
What a
let's do
great way to
that.
start.
Mindset and madness.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so we went into this to this weed shop, right? And this dude, I don't know what he was on, bro. This guy was on some shit.
Bro, it was an out of body experience.
Yeah.
When
Oh
did this
my
happen?
God.
Just now?
Yeah, like before we
Yeah,
got
like
here.
just now, dude.
Hence all the dad jokes.
Huh?
Oh my god,
Hence all the dad jokes.
Bro, oh my god, just
that guy was on.
I don't
some
know, yo. It was just
other
like
strain. I don't know what it's called.
this
bro.
guy was on
Guy
something.
was like
bro.
beating his chest and stuff.
Wait, what?
Yeah, bro.
Well, like 100 man versus one gorilla.
What gorilla?
Yo, he looks like the type of guy if you ask him, yo, could you take on 100 gorilla? He said, yeah. No one gorilla.
I was telling him when we left. I'm like, bro, that just felt like we were in a GTA 5 mission.
Oh my god.
You know when you're in the cutscene?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's
Oh
stop.
my god.
Let's-
Okay, well, welcome back. Mindset and Madness, episode 5. If you're new here, you can follow us on YouTube for the full video. We're also on TikTok and Instagram, and we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars, not 4, not
5. Give them
3,
5.
5, 6 if they do that.
It's a
Leave
tree,
a
no
comment.
forest.
Huh?
It's a tree, no forest.
Actually, no 4 thing is see me, you know? Okay. And yeah, just leave a good comment, criticism. We appreciate it. We continue to do this because we're enjoying it and we're still new. So thank you guys. And
Support, guys. Support.
today,
Roberto.
Ricky's going to take it away.
Roberto, take it away.
All right. So today we have a special guest, Mr. Rashawn.
What's up? Hey, guys. Good? I'll give it the.
Yeah.
There you go.
You guys know him from.
Trey Fam.
Trey Fam Podcast. And now here we are.
Yeah.
Mind
Because,
you, usually it's me that's hosting, so it's kind of weird to be this thing. But thank you guys for having me, man. I appreciate
yeah,
it.
it's,
No
this was,
Definitely, it was definitely gonna be an
yeah,
episode.
on our list.
We knew
for
at some
sure.
point that we were gonna
Yeah,
have something like this.
absolutely. And we're glad we were able to do this, early on. And today's your day.
You're in the hot seat today, bro.
Oh man.
Need
go.
some AC.
Yeah, we need some AC.
Miss Spaniard.
You need an AC
actually
compressor. Okay. So,
Speaking of AC compressors, let's talk about work today.
yeah,
Oh,
today
man.
we're talking about work. And
I can't relate right now.
How
Uh,
was work? When you did work?
Dude, work was stressful.
Yeah.
Work was stressful, bro.
so we want to touch today about, all of us have to work. We have to provide for in our own ways. And it's not easy sometimes, for the
Make
most
a couple
part.
dollars for feed with picnic.
Yeah.
The 10.
And
You said no.
it could be physically draining, mentally it's a lot. And things have changed. We're in Ontario. Taxes is things are like stuff we have to live with, but like it still kills us. And we wanted to kind of touch today on that topic, and also give Sean a chance to tell us a little bit about himself and his background before we kind of get into the main topic.
Yeah,
Sean,
so
take it away.
So hi, I'm Rashawn, guys. Usually you guys see me. These guys I've known for like a good couple of years now, maybe longer now. These two I've known since
I think
2017,
I've known you for like about 10 years, maybe.
like 2017, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
It was long time
We
ago.
probably
man.
the same
For me, it's been about 10 years.
yeah, almost. Yeah.
So yeah, like I think it's cool to see like that. Obviously, we're all here now, and like all these years later, that we're still good friends and stuff. Especially because like obviously like a lot of friendships we've seen come and go throughout the years, and for me, like I'm very appreciative to have you guys. So yeah, like I think what do you guys don't know, just like how the podcast kind of happened?
Yeah,
or-
a little bit about yourself, what you're doing with the podcast, your
Yeah,
YouTube and
so
stuff like that.
right now, man, it just work basically. Obviously, like we're all going through those things. I think that right now it's so hard to like hold a job down. You know what I mean? Because obviously, like nothing is promised. Like your spot is not guaranteed that you're still gonna have a job in the future. Even if it seemed like you've been with the company for however long, how many years. So you always got to have like a plan B. So right now, I think for me, I'm just kind of like balancing that and trying to, look into seeing what other opportunities presents itself. And yeah, I think that's like mainly what I kind of have going on. Obviously, the podcast has been doing good. There was one point where didn't know what it was gonna be at this point, like where it's gonna get to this point. Obviously, when you first start out, you're just kind of just going through the motions. So that was one thing that I was going through with that. So yeah.
You're doing good so far.
Thanks, man.
Podcasts and grinding.
How have
Dude,
you
you
guys
should
enjoyed?
continue doing, bro.
How have you guys enjoyed the podcast journey so far?
It's
Been
fun.
all right. I have to deal with him a little bit. I
I
mean,
have to deal with these two.
you love me, bro.
That gives me back massages and stuff. I love it.
What?
After
you
the
guys
episode?
give each other back massages at work?
That's not true. I don't know what
Wow.
He
That's how
sees me
mucky
all
man thing.
pissed off and stuff. And I'm like, man, come and massage his shoulder there.
the podcast is fun. It's different. It's
Yeah.
a sacrifice. It's
A lot of work.
and it can be stressful. Like obviously we're not getting paid for this. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But it's a big commitment. But you know what? For me right now, it's a hobby that's turning into more and more of a passion, and
Yeah.
gets me out the house once a week, and
Something to look
I get
forward
to
to.
see my
Yeah.
friends and talk and shoot the shit. So it's definitely a good experience so far.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it.
Good.
What about you guys?
What about you guys? How you guys?
Oh no, it's
doing?
been good. It's been good. I haven't had any kind of negative thoughts towards it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been before. Like I couldn't even speak in front of a camera, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I was nervous. I mean, I still to this day, I still get a little bit nervous.
Perfectly normal though.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, it's just weird, Sometimes you just think
'Cause-
about it, and then you have to listen back to yourself, and it's just like, oh, that's what I sound like.
Especially
That's
when
what I
you're
look
going through
like.
the editing process.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah,
cringy
bro.
sometimes.
Like when CJ's moms listen to the podcast,
Yeah.
I gotta go downstairs. I cannot listen to myself talk. Like I get embarrassed.
yeah.
I can't.
What about you, Ricky?
Yeah, no, it's been really fun from going like from a routine every day.
Yeah.
This is something different. So I'm also shy on camera. I mean,
Yeah.
still am kind of, but I feel like I've been improving.
You're getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, yeah, because I've never really done anything like this. So I'm mostly just like behind the scenes.
I think that's like the funny thing too, is just like a lot of people think that there's not it's so simple, but it really isn't. Like
No, it's
obviously
not.
the lights are on, the cameras are on. Obviously, you guys have like something in mind on what you guys want to talk about, and each episode.
I find that's the hardest.
Yeah,
Finding a topic to come up
It's-
with.
yeah.
And not just that, like when we have our day where we're gonna record, usually the night before we get on a phone call and we try to discuss.
Yeah.
okay, we kind of have it mapped out. And then you sit here, and then sometimes
then,
it's
yeah,
just
you
like
just
you're
draws a
just
blank.
and it's. I've heard it from some people, like you see it, but it's not like we're doing it on purpose. It's just
I try and cut those parts out just so it's not
yeah,
like,
and you don't want a piece of paper like
To
the last
constantly look at your
episode
stuff.
we had that, but
But I mean that's fine because you're
It
like,
was like
going-
a-
it's
it
like
was like a game
it's a
show.
game show
Yeah.
kind of thing. You're
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
through like simple questions and stuff. And like you can't just
Yeah.
remember questions.
of course. And Sean, you were talking about kind of between jobs and looking, like how is that affecting you? Obviously at home.
Yeah.
You're like how are you being able to
Oh,
deal
man.
with that?
I it's tough. I think when you have that kind of responsibility to have that much pressure that you need to be one of the main providers of the household and you don't know where your next meal is going to come from, it's a lot. Like there's obviously times where you don't really feel like being at the job that you're at because maybe you had a rough day or just getting yelled at work, like all those things like you have to put aside that I don't know, but like it's
Ricky yells at
it's
me.
normal, right? And I think that for me, the one thing I had to learn this year was not taking what happened at work to home. You know what I
It's
mean?
very important.
Yeah.
Because obviously like your work life is different than your home life. But
Is it hard to separate that?
it was hard, yeah.
Bringing the work from home and kind of leaving it at work.
Yeah, because for me, for a good almost 8 years, I was working at another job where I was mainly by myself. So I didn't really have to talk to anybody, just, good morning, when you're leaving
Yeah.
and stuff. So I was mostly just by myself. So it was so weird to kind of be associated with more coworkers and actually become friends with certain of them. And then obviously when you have, relationships with them now, like that you actually can like talk to, I wasn't used to all of that. So when you would have a bad day at work, I was just kind of like shook because I'm like, bro, like how do you people balance that,
Yeah.
And then obviously, bills too,
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
No.
Definitely cheap.
Bills are. It's not fun.
But the work-life balance I get because when I first started where I'm at, I used to bring them the work problems home, but like it's just because work in a fast-paced environment sometimes.
Yeah.
You got people constantly yelling at you, and so it was hard in the beginning, but it just, I guess 6 years later, I grew some thick skin,
Yeah.
and it's just something that you're gonna have to deal with.
So that was the one thing that I had to learn after the couple months was not to also take things personal. Like,
Yeah.
When people are just yelling
That's
at
a
you just
big thing.
because we have things to get done,
Yeah.
and it's just things happen.
Yeah.
So you need to understand, okay, like try your best not to mess up again. Learn from it. That's
you
all.
learn
it is.
from all of that.
So it took me a little time to obviously get used to that. But once I did, like now I know that, okay, like next time this happens, make sure it don't happen again,
Yeah.
I ain't trying to get in trouble again. So yeah. And then obviously, like you guys said, like whatever happens at work, it just happens at work.
Yeah.
At home, that's supposed to be like your safe haven, your peacemaker,
Yeah.
being around your family,
Because it affects
partner.
the people at home when you bring it at
Oh,
home,
yeah.
obviously. Like you don't, you try to
wanna
leave
bring
that
it
at home and not.
Bro, I walk into a door, I get mad at the door.
Yeah.
That's how it was. Like I stub my toe. I'm like, bro, man,
yeah.
stupid ass door, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't get to yell at me, bro. I yell. Like that's how I was, bro. Like
not today.
yeah, you don't know what I've been through. So it's things like that. But
No, man. I know it's tough too. Like, I'm sure like me and Ricky work together. Ricky is my manager, and it's like you said, like, yeah, we all laugh, we make jokes and whatnot, but from the time we work from 8 to 5:30, family, friend, all that, it's still there.
Yeah.
But when things have to get done, it has to get done, and sometimes, yeah. But at the end of the day, like, I have to listen to him. He's my manager. You know what I'm saying? Like,
business comes first. Like,
You know, and,
we had that conversation. We sat down before like he even started. And
Yeah.
I said, listen, like, has
Stuff-
to be like this. And
yeah,
and at work, like, for the most part, when we don't have to work, it's a pretty
Yeah.
chill environment.
yeah,
But sometimes, yeah, it could get hectic. It could get busy, and you might not be able to, laugh it off. Like, you just gotta go. And then
Yeah.
sometimes you might misinterpret things, and I'm still dealing with that. Like, sometimes, yeah, you take things personally. Like,
It's
Ricky
hard
will
not to.
tell you, and
Yeah.
it's hard. But I know as a person, I'm trying to grow and trying to move past it. But taking a work from home, like I can imagine, like it's not easy. Like I've seen it with my parents, and imagine what they went through. They didn't have these opportunities to talk about it. I don't think back then.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So.
But even then, like, they don't talk about it. They think going to therapy and stuff is like nonsense.
Stupid. Oh yeah.
They didn't think about like mental health itself as something that we deal with. They just say, well, you tell a West Indian parent you're depressed. Say, we have to be depressed about.
Yeah.
You have food, you have clothes, you have water, and you have a house, and you have a bed to sleep in. What do you have to be What do you have to be sad about?
And then you try to explain further, and then they're like, "Yeah, you're a donkey." You know what I mean?
Goat bite you.
Yeah, goat bite me already. So, it's hard to communicate, the work life with your parents because some people are not.
I don't know the work life. My mom understands the work life.
Yeah,
100%. Like she's dead. She's been dealt like some shitty hands in her as she was when she moved over here, and even till just like a few years recently, she's been dealing with some bullshit. Right, so it just never stops.
And Sean, I know you have a very close relationship with your mom. Shout out Sean's mom.
Oh, mom.
So like, do you find it easier to, reach out to her when you're not like doing your personal problems? Yeah, I'm sure you do. But like when you do like work stuff, like how is that relationship like with, talking to your mom and able to explain like I had this at work without hearing what wife said like you have a bed.
So that's the one thing that like I'm very grateful for is my mom is very understanding, and everyone knows I have a really close relationship with her, and when I'm having a rough day and I need to talk to someone, especially when it comes to like work, she's the first person I come to about it. And she's always just reassuring that, listen, like this is how it's going to be now, and you need to understand you can't take it personal. So that was like my first kind of initial way to like learn, okay, I'm still growing. Like I wasn't used to having so many coworkers, and now I have to deal with a lot of personalities. That's another thing obviously going to clash, like you guys have said before. But moms had made it so much easier to talk to someone especially because I hear how obviously you guys talk like, it's a lot harder to you guys to open up to your parents. So I'm very grateful that I have that opportunity to, so I don't take that for granted. That's why I try to make sure to let my mom or my dad even know, like, this is what's going on at work, like, how do I balance this? Like, how do I figure out a way to like not take it personal, or, how do I get better, and take from their own experiences that I can implement into my own. So
moms just know, yo. Moms just know.
They know everything.
There's one advice my dad gave me when I first started where I'm at, and I remember that day I went home. I got yelled at by this customer like bad.
Yeah.
Like bad. Like I was like gonna go there and like egg his plate. Yeah, let's just say egg. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna do, but I was so upset, and I got home that day and I'm like not in the mood, and they saw that I was upset.
Yeah.
And then, I went downstairs eventually, and my dad's like, what's going on? So I'm telling him what's happening, what happened with the customer and me, and then he's like, listen, it doesn't matter where you go, there'll always be people like that. Because I told him, like, I want to quit. I'm going to go somewhere else, like somewhere where, like, nobody's going to, like, yell at me or talk to me like that. He's like, listen, like, you'll always find people like that no matter where you work. And I think that's when it clicked to me, and that's when I changed, like, my perspective on how the customer service business is, you know? So from there, things got better because I learned not to take it to heart, and that was pretty much it. It doesn't bother me anymore. I mean, sometimes,
you only know
it piss you off, you want to punch them in the face, but what are you gonna do?
Just stub your toe.
Yeah, they don't do anything for you, So that's how you gotta think about
my
it.
experience is different with customers. Me and customers get along really well. Boss, on the other hand, has a different story, bro. It's like I can't. No matter what I do, I could not. There's always something. It's like, dude, it's like I can't catch a break. I'm completing all these calls, doing all these because I'm in the service industry, right? Going fixing people's windows and doors. And it's like, dude, all these customers are happy. You guys, I've only ever had in the last year one customer complain because I proved him wrong that whatever happened to his doors was not my fault. Yeah. And he was pissed off about that. He didn't want me to come back to his house. But I ended up going back to the house because I was the only technician they had. And, you know, I fixed all that and then everything was good. But it's like every other customer I've dealt with, nothing but good things to say.
Yeah.
It's the boss himself could never find something. He always has to find some fault with something.
Were you guys ever scared of, like, when a boss would get upset? Well, for me, I usually get, like, terrified, to be honest.
No. Like, I don't know. At a point, it's like you can't let them control you because, you know, like they're gonna see what they can pretty much get out of you, right? They're gonna see which ones they can take advantage of, which ones they know they can't take advantage of, and they'll start doing that from the very start. They'll start, you know, pretending they're real nice with you, and then later on start adding more and more and more and more because they know you won't say no. I just stopped saying yes. I'm like, it came to a point where like at the time I've been talking to my doctor since I don't know, like December last year. No, before that. I think back in like September, something like last year. And he asked if I wanted to be on medication. I was like, no, I don't want to take no medication. He's like, okay, so that's when I started seeing a therapist. Mm-hmm. And then it got a little bit better. I seen him again. And he's like, you still want to take the stuff? I'm like, no, I don't want to take anything yet. Right? Because at this point, I think I stopped seeing the therapist. And just recently, last week, I seen him again. The stress has just been more unbearing and stuff, right? So it's like, I can't. Like, there's days I'm going into work and I'm falling asleep while I'm driving. They don't think it's necessary to have me have someone work with me because I can just do the work by myself, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like that's a lot of the pressure to put on me. Like, what if something happens? I blink my eyes for like 2 seconds, I pass out. Yeah. Right? And he said he'll give me some time off for a month. And, so I'm just taking that time to myself now to kind of get back on track with things.
That's good,
prioritize my health a little bit. Yeah. And, go from there.
Oh, it's really good, bro.
Yeah, your job's labor intensive for sure. So I
can
see
the labor. It's not that bad. The work is not bad. It's the driving. It's draining because it's like 4 hours. I'd be driving one area 4 hours one way, and then drive 4 hours back. You're just sitting there just driving.
Yeah. For drivers out there, my whole life, pretty much I've done driving jobs. My dad does driving. It is mentally depressing, especially when you have nobody to talk to. There's only so much radio you can listen to if your truck has that. Yeah. But I found the best thing is to talk to somebody. Now, my job, I'm not on the road all the time. And if I am going somewhere, it's like it could be anywhere from maybe half an hour to like an hour away if they call, right? Yeah. So I'm not like who's going 4 or 5 hours or some of my other friends I know they drive. But like when you're talking to your friend, and even if you're not even if they're on the phone and they're just there, like the stress and the loneliness, because I see it happen to my dad over time, driving for years. It makes you antsy. It makes you like, you know what I'm saying? So it's and it's funny because when I spoke to Ricky last year about a job, I didn't really want to do driving again. Yeah. I did it already, but like I didn't really have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like I needed a job, and but yeah, driving isn't easy. Like I completely understand what Webs is saying. Yeah, like some days you just,
for that long too. I can't imagine.
It's dude, you just blink for 2 seconds, that's it, done.
But back to what you were saying earlier, Sean, about a boss. Like as you guys know, Ricky. Like there have been times Ricky tells us certain things. Yeah. Again, I'm trying not to go too much into detail, but yeah, like you gotta. Okay, I'm gonna give one example. Yeah. I won't even say what it is, but I think you'll pick it up.
Yeah.
One time where me and someone else, Ricky was pretty pissed. Like I knew he was mad because he messaged me. He's like, "Where are you?" Yeah. I'm like, "I'm right up the street." He's like, "I need you to come back right away." I'm like, "Okay, something's wrong." Yeah. And I had a feeling what it was. So he pulled me and the other person into the office, and he's like, "Look, when so-and-so tells you to do this or go a certain way, you go. Like, that's their, like, Dominic style." Yeah. And I knew exactly why we were being told. I like ever since then, like obviously, we do our thing, we go, okay. Yeah. I remember calling him at the end of the day. I'm like, yo, I know what this was about. You know what I mean? But it sucks because at that point you have to get yelled at.
Yeah, yeah.
And you didn't do anything wrong. Like, I'm dead serious. I did it, but it you have to come back to reality. I think he has to do his job. You got to make sure this is a running ship because there's 7 of us. Yeah. So like,
and you can't show any like favoritism in a way.
No,
Everyone
absolutely
has to
not.
say
No, it's everybody has to be held accountable. And it was in environment, but
like I'll go into work and I'll spend like probably half an hour in my office and just get my work done so I could spend the rest of my day in front with the rest of them.
Yeah.
Just to help them out, like let them see that like I'm there.
In case they
because a lot of managers, they'll just be in their office all day.
Yeah.
That's not Ricky.
And
Ricky is
I'll go out there, like I'll be with them, make sure they're good.
Yeah.
And I'm always there to help with.
He's Mr. Krabs.
Nah, Mr. Krabs stays in his office.
Mr. Krabs, buddy.
What do you like the most about this? Money.
Yeah,
but Ricky did. By the way, he did show me how to use the cash register.
It's just a whole bunch of SpongeBob references.
Yeah. Wipes is not having it,
but like it's like.
Holy shit!
But from like a manager's perspective, like you want to like lead by example. You want to let them know that they're all there. They're all being heard.
Yeah.
You got to be that support system for them when the job gets tough sometimes, and even if you can help out just like a little bit, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I try to do that. Hopefully it works, But I don't like staying in the office all day and doing stuff. I'd rather get it all done quickly in the morning and spend the rest of the day with them.
Yeah.
Helping out wherever I can. Because each of them know what they have to do. So they all know what they have to do. So it's not like I'm babysitting anybody. But, every now and then, you got to put your foot down and tell them how it is. But
and then give him some back massages.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I never gave Ricky a back massage.
Well, so now you're going to lie, bro? Now you're going to lie?
I did. I was stressed, bro.
Matt came in.
Don't
he's
yell
like,
at us.
Matt came in. He's like, man, you look stressed. I started massaging my shoulder. I will start to fall asleep, bro.
Then you got them touch like that.
You got the magical hands, bro.
The magic touch. I don't even know if that's a commercial or anything.
It's like, why does it sound familiar?
The snack that smiles back. Goldfish.
That's where it's from. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was like, one of the lines is not making sense. I'm like, I feel like I got the reference.
So, actually, Rashawn, I had a question.
What's up?
Speaking about work, like, how is it? You talk about bills. Obviously, doing a podcast, like we know, it costs money. We're obviously renting. Man, it's not cheap. You know what I mean? This man, I'm just joking. Just joking.
It's all love, bro.
You love this guy.
$1,000 an hour.
Sorry,
okay. So, like, you talk about bills and you want to do your podcast.
Yeah.
You buy a camera. Sean's very talented at vlogging.
Thank you guys.
He's vlogged some of our adventures.
WWE.
Sober and drunk.
Oh, the WWE one?
Yeah, that was sick.
Like, obviously, you want to pay for those things, so it's important to have your job. And do you feel sometimes kind of stressed sometimes when you're worried that you can't be able to come to the studio and do a session or fix something on your camera or your computer?
Oh, all the time, because majority of my bills happen to go to obviously like where I live.
Yeah.
And it sucks because, sometimes like, I do want to be able to record more or I do want to be able to like shoot more, but sometimes you just can't just go. You can't just go and think like everything costs money, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has to make their money. So if there's, weeks that I can't record, I'll probably just try to, put content for the week in terms of like, maybe chopping up a video from a previous week or, making an announcement that, this something else is coming up, or maybe do a vlog, if anything, So I think it helps create more of a opportunity to kind of see what else I can do in terms of, okay, well, majority of this week's paycheck has to go towards like rent or whatever. So I would try to just like put money aside and then, save it for the next pod or whatever. But yeah, I think that's basically, kind of like the workaround, but obviously it sucks, because obviously there is times when I do want to record. Yeah. But, sacrifices have to be made, but you just make sure it's the next opportunity that you're presented, you just utilize it and then come kill it, so. That's
good, man. Yeah, I know it can, sometimes it can be tough.
It's a struggle, man. These companies don't like to pay, bro. Like,
yeah, Ricky.
I don't even like want to go into all of that, but like, it's Canada, bro.
I think that's saying something, bro.
Bro, me too. Me too.
Same, bro. I need a raise, bro. What do you mean?
But the one thing that I'll say though, like, was beneficial. Was like
I'm working, bro. I'm
working the second job where I work on the weekends, like taking pictures. So usually I utilize that as like an opportunity to obviously either record or save the extra money for myself.
Yeah, and that's fair. I think that's important. Like, I think a lot of people, we all, some of us, not all, paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah,
and that we're always prioritizing our bills and. Which is important and savings, but then you forget you worked for that money. You should be able to spend on yourself. I'm not crazy and stupid, but I think a lot of us get lost in translation. I know I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, I'm just, this has to get paid, and you're left with nothing, and it's like, well, like I use credit card.
And a little bit is probably to put gas or something.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So it's not really for yourself.
It's just for
to
me
get you to go back to work.
Basically.
So, and it sucks sometimes. And my question is, like, how do you guys feel with saving? Do you guys feel like with the jobs you have now, like I know Webster's off work, like, do you feel like even after putting money for bills for your kids, do you still have money to put away for savings and like the investment?
Barely. It's hard now. It's like it's bad.
Bro, it's
the
tough.
cost of everything, it hurts your pocket now.
I'm not saying I make pretty like decent money, but like, dude, everything's expensive.
Yeah.
Like what CG was talking about last week, like formula's not cheap.
Yeah, I see that, bro.
Spending what, 70, I think it's like 70.
You said
$74, I think, a jug that lasts, a box that lasts about a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's
Weekly.
Yeah, no.
Jeez.
And then my daughter, she drinks just regular milk, but we get milk like every 2 days, 3 days.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, milk is cheap. I'd rather take milk over friggin' baby formula.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard. Like, I feel like I have automatic payments that go right away, so I know that's clear.
That notification, like,
and you're like, oh, like I know where it's going, but like it's just like, damn, it's just like.
Yeah, and it's like when you have that money, it's like you're looking at it and you're like, yeah, I know I got to pay off bills, but like, once I pay off the bills, I got nothing left.
Yeah,
You get paid Friday. Let's say you wake up 6 a.m. You see it. You start putting it by like.
Bro, I'm like on the toilet and I'm like paying bills. Okay.
7 a.m. God, like it's scary. Like how things are so expensive now, and everyone's struggling. I think everyone is. It's safe to say, even if you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, like it's still.
Yeah, like the more you make, it's like the more taxes they take out. Well, obviously they do, but like for me, like they take out a lot of taxes on my pay.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm left with like peanuts. So that's what hits the most. Like when you see like the gross pay and you're like, wow, I can do a lot with this.
Yeah, that is our gross pay because look how much they take away after
Yeah.
that.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That's a bad joke.
Today's episode is brought to you by Dad Jokes.
Brought to you by Bel Air Academy.
Okay.
Bel Air Academy.
We still support Will Smith.
We.
He slapped the guy. All right, whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, move on. Like, it's not that serious, you know? So, oh, man. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about investments. Yes.
Investments? Or we're talking about
Your money.
Money.
Yeah.
Money off your mech.
Bitch better have my money.
But yeah, Riri.
Yeah, you know, so, okay, so let's change it up a little bit.
All right, what's up?
So, podcast. vlogging. Take us back to the streaming days, bro.
Oh, damn. You gotta go
Why
way
don't
back?
you stream no more, bro?
Sean is a talented video gamer.
Damn, where to start
started
with that?
streaming first.
Okay, so I could probably give the whole story now then, I guess, like how we got to this point. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was 2020, during the pandemic. Obviously, we're all just at home, prime for dance days, in March 2020.
Ricky was there.
I had to work. Sorry. I was an essential worker.
I had to work too, but I worked overnight.
Oh, yeah, essential workers. I forgot that was a thing, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably like mid-July, and, I was at a point where like I was probably at my like lowest point. Like you guys obviously knew, like I was just going through things. Friends were coming in and out of my life, so I didn't know who I was exactly, and I was getting depressed without even realizing it. So I felt like I didn't know who I was. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take this time now to focus on myself and prioritize myself, find who I am, and make something of myself. And just prove to myself and then kind of everyone like who I am. So, we spend how many hours playing video games because we're at home for so long. So I'm like, yo, let me just try streaming. Like, there's so much fun content from it. Let me start doing it. I started doing it, started making clips and stuff. And then I was like, the Warzone tournament kind of came across where I was like, okay, look, what if I did a tournament with just a whole bunch of my friends? And the first tournament we did pulled in like 50 people. Mind you, this is everyone just at home on a random Thursday night or Friday night. I put a Instagram post. I'm like, yo, doing custom tournaments of Warzone.
It was lit.
Kid you not?
That was sick.
It was before you do matches where there was teams and stuff so everybody's voice chat was played at once. So think about it, 50 people you're hearing all at once. Yeah, that's all you kept hearing. But it pulled in so many people, and then people kept demanding for more. And then I was like, okay, so we start to do that more. And I think after a while, I just was like, you know what, I don't want to just be known as just a streamer. So that's kind of why I stopped. I was like, I always want to be doing podcasting. I always enjoy podcasting, doing radio. So one day I think I brought it to one of my friends, and I was like, listen, I don't know if you guys are interested, but I'm probably gonna do a podcast. Just talking about life, giving people the opportunity to.
And podcast wasn't as popular back then.
No,
it is now.
It wasn't.
So
that's when podcasts started picking up, and especially during COVID was
I think it was
the
around
height
COVID
of
time.
a lot of
But
YouTubing,
the last 2 years, 3 years, I think is really podcast.
It's been popping up.
Oh
It's
shit! Yeah,
skyrocketed.
COVID was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at my Snapchat memories 5 years ago.
If you think Ricky's a waste man for having Snapchat.
Everybody here has Snapchat
No,
except
Snap
for
is
you,
still,
bro.
yeah. I have this on Snap.
Yeah.
Loser.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Don't be mad, bro.
No, not mad.
Sure, you want me to snap you?
You want me to beat you?
No. It's after 5:30, guys. Ricky can't talk to me like that.
It's guilty, man.
8 a.m. tomorrow, I'm going to get fucking
You know this
beat.
thing name? Marsari.
What the fuck?
Okay, we're getting... Sorry, Sean. Sorry. Okay, yes. All right, Sean. Sorry. So
No, you're good. You're good.
So you started podcasting and vlogging.
Yeah. So I started the podcast, just with two $50 cheap USB microphones and just a whole bunch of YouTube information. I was like, okay, so how do you start, uploading videos? How do you start, recording? I wasn't even comfortable in front of a camera when I first started. Like you were saying, it took me 3 or 4 times to get a taste to record a video, but I was just like, all right, let me just try it. After a while, you start to get used to it, and
you were still nervous even when you stream?
Oh, yeah.
Even when you stream first because you're on camera?
Yeah, I was nervous, yeah.
The shot was good. I still thought,
Now my sister took over, so she does all the streaming now.
Shout out to her.
So I was like, yeah, I'm like, I just wanted to kind of had my own path, I guess. And I figured, there wasn't really a West Indian podcaster at that time. And
There still isn't really. There's not.
Not that I know
not
of.
that I know of.
No.
So I was like, okay, that's
In our community,
there wasn't.
podcast, not
Videos, content. Just
There's not much. If you see a West Indian TikToker or
They're like a
content
comedian or
creator or
something,
whatever,
right?
it's all
Yeah.
the same shit.
They're all comedians, basically.
I feel like Sean's show is more straight interview kind of style
Yeah.
in a way. Like ours is like that, but ours is like three goofy guys trying to be serious for an hour. Goofy goobers. Yeah.
That's why it's like it's a nice environment for me to be in now, because usually I'm in a more stricter kind of comfortability.
Well,
so,
next time we get Sean, we're gonna do shots, but not today.
Yo, I'm down, bro.
Segment's gonna be called Sean's Shots.
That was good. That was
Truth
good.
or dare. You don't want to be there.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
So now that you're doing the vlogging podcast, do you miss streaming? Stream snipe.
I think there's times, that's one thing I hated. Because we used to do the Warzone tournament and everyone knew where the...
Yo, Sean used to get cheese, bro.
Even I would delay the stream for 30 seconds, would not make a difference. I would randomly, I'm like, yo, whatever you guys do before we start, make sure do not look at the stream. Tell me how half the lobby is where I'm at.
There's bam.
How do you guys just find that? Yeah.
No,
First one's to die, always. But whenever I would get someone, I'm like, yeah, that's what you get for stream sniping if I kill you. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I really miss it, man. Like, I think, like, I'm happy with what I was able to leave with in terms of, like, having those memories of us doing those Warzone tournaments.
Your sister
and stuff.
took over.
Huh?
Your sister took over.
My sister took over. That's her thing now, and I'm
good.
happy for her.
Yeah,
She's
she's killing
doing
it.
a lot better.
Killing it.
She's even, like, what's it called? Like, streaming with, like, other streamers that are, like, people from, like, FaZe and stuff. So she's doing, like,
shit, eh?
good
She's
stuff.
sick,
you know?
man. Like she was literally Sheena Sniper. When she
Yeah.
snipes, bro,
Yeah,
run,
bro.
Yeah.
duck.
Yo, 1v1 me that.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear bam.
I'm kidding.
So it's not gonna be fun. But we're glad that you did the streaming. Now you're moved on to podcast and vlogging. So who's your dream guest
Damn, dream guest. Ooh.
besides us? Even though I've been
All
on.
right, I ready to get you guys on it too. That's the thing. Like, I think, when I landed that first big interview with that artist that I work for now, Nicky, I think that's what opened the doors where I'm like, okay, like, there's more avenues I can tackle into in terms of like seeing other artists, creators. Like, there's more I can try to get into. And I've been very grateful to interview some amazing people. Like obviously him, the what's his name, Andrew Garfield stunt double,
that was
William Spencer. I have a couple of people that's going to be on the show soon too. Obviously, Sunny from Late Bloomer, the TV show.
Oh, amazing.
by
Awesome
Just Rain. It's a
show.
really good show. You guys should watch it.
Yeah, have
Check it out.
100%.
Yeah, I gotta finish it. I think I'm on like episode 6.
Yeah,
Or
we're
no,
not even
5.
yet.
Finish it, bro. It's so good.
Really
Dream
good.
one though, damn.
LeBron.
Probably.
LeBron,
Kyrie.
James.
LeBron James.
Yeah, I don't even know if like
Tobey Maguire.
John Cena.
John Cena.
Andrew
probably-
Garfield.
Spooderman.
I think probably
SpongeBob.
Tobey Maguire, probably like a dream one, obviously. Maybe like obviously like professional wrestler, probably like John Cena, obviously.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
childhood. There's a good couple names, I think now I'm kind of more open to the idea of, before I was kind of hesitant, I'm like, yo, there's no way that's possible, But
yeah.
if you keep working at it and keep pushing the content the best that you can, like anything is possible, man. I'm just so grateful for like every opportunity I've been, presented with, and all the amazing people I've met so far. I think, if there was someone like dead or alive, obviously, it was probably Mac Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like a given. Mac
R.I.P.
was like
Mac.
one of my favorite artists.
Well, we wish you all the best, man. Like, obviously, me and Wipes have known you a little bit longer.
Best Buy days.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh, you used to work at Best Buy too?
No,
No.
I would just show up.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
my
His
chill.
cousin always used to show up, and his cousin just grabbed the guitar and just start making music, bro. Just
Oh,
Wow.
shout out Famous, bro.
Yeah, and we're wishing you all the best. And we obviously want to thank you for taking the time to kind of, talk about the work and relationships, but also talk about your journey with your podcast and stuff like that. And it's not easy booking these things sometimes. Sometimes it can get hectic, but we're
Yeah.
glad that we were able to do that. So before we kind of, towards wrap up, is there anything you want to ask us?
Yeah. First I want to say one thing.
Oh,
first.
sure, yeah.
Just to all of you guys, I know how much work, time, and effort that goes into this, and I'm really proud of what you guys have accomplished in little time.
thank you.
And continue to keep working.
That was
there's gonna
question.
be.
That was what I was gonna say. Do you have any things to
Like
get better?
Like improvement,
yeah.
criticism.
I wouldn't say any like criticism. I think like what you guys like, you guys have your own show. You guys know what to do and how to improve upon. I think the one thing I'll probably say is just keep it consistent. Like that's one thing that I had to learn. And there's obviously days where like, yo, I don't feel like editing. I don't feel like posting. Post on those days especially.
Yeah.
And obviously you guys are taking this serious. Shout out Meta again. For having us Xpod Studios. And I'm thankful that you guys even gave me the chance to, I guess, kind of like tell my story in a little bit because probably people didn't really know. So
we also want to give you this time again to kind of plug in all your social medias.
Kind of give the people that don't know who you are.
Stay connected, you know what I mean, and check them out.
But not just that, like people that don't know who you are, who Trey Fam, the Trey Fam Podcast is like. Tell them like kind of. Tell them a little bit of, like what it is, like
the Trey Fam Podcast. It was just an idea about, giving a safe place for artists, creators, my friends and family to go talk in a safe place and also get their story across. That's all I wanted to do was create moments for everyone. That's what I do obviously with the vlogs too. Something we always can look back at, And I just wanted to give a platform that people can express themselves freely, can jokes, make laughs, talk sad stories or whatever. Like just anything that you guys want to talk about is on that platform. And, I think that over the years I've learned to make sure that stays true in that message and prioritize my guests, whoever's on the show. So yeah, like you guys can find me on Instagram at Rashawn, at the Trey Fam Podcast, YouTube, it's Trey Fam TV.
Some awesome vlogs on there too.
Yeah, so good vlogs. We had the Caravana vlog. We did the
wedding one.
The wedding one. Wedding ones. You're in the wedding one. I remember.
Am I in it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wipes up rock dance a little bit.
You're dancing to. Yeah, we
say
that.
Dancing to music. Yeah. BS.
Yeah. We have our Edmonton vlog. That's like legendary. Like one of our favorite ones. And yeah, man. The wrestling one.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the wrestling one too.
So yeah, you guys follow him up. Check him out. Also, Sheena's Twitch. What is it?
Sheena Snipes.
Sheena Snipes.
Sheena Snipes. Yeah, check her out too, man. Bam.
Add the hit marker.
Just add the.
Hey, Meta, how much time are we at right now? Oh shit.
Oh, good.
Every week we'd like to end off on a quote, something with like inspiration. So this week, our good old friend here, Mr. Rashawn, aka Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Here it is.
Rabbit.
No.
We should probably also mention like how we got that nickname after.
All right, okay. So before we wrap up, okay.
Yeah, Sanjay, explain it.
Let me explain it. Yeah, let me explain it. Okay, so in our group chat, this is so random. I don't know. Rashawn was talking and he's like, what he said, he's watching 8 Mile. And if you've seen 8 Mile, in the movie, Eminem's mom calls him Rabbit. And with our friend group, we like to add the word fucking before everything. Okay, so I'm like fucking Rabbit, and the name just stuck with Rashawn because we tried to call him Bones, something
that was
small because he's skinny, right? Like you know what I mean, but it didn't stick. And Rabbit, for whatever friggin' reason, it just stuck, and till this day, people still call him it. And yeah, that's
so. I told Sanj this a couple weeks ago. I was going to I went to an event. I went to Mystic. I'm just in line. And just waiting. I don't know where just Rabbit. And I'm like, I turn around. I'm like, it's none of my boys that I know. So who calling me that? And it was Blitz. What the fuck? Yeah, shout out Blitz, bro. I turn around like, oh, yo, what do you say? I'm like, bro, even he knows my nickname. Like, how?
Calls him fucking my Rabbit, buddy.
So
when you see him on the streets, call him Rabbit.
Yeah. So how did you want to explain how I got the nickname or?
Yeah, I did.
No, but I mean like. Because of
yes. Okay, you could do that part. Yeah.
So obviously, like you guys know it from 8 Mile, right?
Yeah.
But the reason as well, I don't know how it tied into it, but because remember they called Rabbit because he had buck teeth, right? So that's what I used to get called too growing up because of the buck teeth, because of Rabbit. So it just so happened that it was the same time as 8 Mile, so yeah, that was
Rabbit,
yeah, Rabbit
or Rabs.
Yes, Rabs.
Rabs, my. So yeah, call him Rabbit if you see
Rabble.
it. A Rabble, yeah, Rabble if you really want to be like, you know. But yes, as what I was saying, this week, because you're our guest, we asked you to give a little quote.
Yep.
And you said you had one, so.
Yeah, so the quote that I have is, we can't change the world unless we change ourselves. Simple as that.
Nice.
You know,
That's,
I think it's something that it's even in my Instagram bio. It's just like as a reminder that, you know, in order for us to be better and want better, you have to continue to grow and always be willing to learn and be humble, obviously. And yeah, just kind of reminder to keep going in a way. So,
well, appreciate
Very
that.
good,
And
very
That's a good one.
we also have a small segment that we're trying to do is get questions at the end. We don't have a name, so if you think of a name, but Ricky had some questions that he was going to let us know.
I was wondering if you guys got like,
I don't think we got a lot.
cut it out. I like that both at the same time you did that.
Clip that.
Which one?
Well, me and Sean
You
did.
did the cut it out.
Hey,
All
you know
right.
what?
Bunch of losers.
All right. This is a good one. If you could give yourself, if
you
you
give
could
your
give your
past-
past self some advice, what would it be?
Slow down.
Go faster. No.
Slow down.
yeah.
You know, just cherish things. You know, don't feel like you're in a rush to grow up. Just
Yeah.
enjoy life for what it is. Take your time and just enjoy it. Because when you get older and when you get kids, time just goes.
See how that
and
gray
it's like,
hair?
see how these zoom in on this.
Look like a
Gray,
wire.
bro. My God.
Huh?
Yeah, like
brush there.
bristle pad. No, just slow down. Just enjoy life, bro. Don't wait to grow up. Don't be in a rush to grow up.
Yeah. I always had a timeline for everything.
Yeah, I always
As I
thought,
got older, I was like, you know what? Screw the timeline.
I always thought by like 25, I'd have a set job, like set
Yeah.
career. I'd
Yeah.
have my own house. I'd be, making good money, but that's not how life works.
I think for me, just, be more open and try to listen to what others say. Because I think if I would have done that more, things would have turned out differently, 100%.
Yeah.
That's my Sean.
Yeah, I think for me it was just trust the process. Don't rush things, obviously, and just realize that everyone has their own path, and you need to just go the way that you're on. Don't wonder what everyone else is thinking, probably, and be like, oh, why does this person have that and I don't?
Yeah.
The comparison is not a good thing to do.
Don't envy somebody else for what
Yes.
they have. Yeah.
You guys want another one?
Yeah, one
right.
more.
What is the riskiest, borderline illegal thing you guys got away with?
Sorry, I'm not speaking. I can say shit.
Yeah. Maybe we
Because
can save that for another one.
there's riskiest illegal, non-illegal thing.
Borderline illegal.
Riskiest thing.
I ate a
that's-
Reese's in Walmart. I don't know. I didn't pay for it.
I don't, huh?
A Reese's?
That's
Yeah.
still illegal.
Huh?
That's still
Did you
illegal.
pay for it?
I didn't pay for it.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
still illegal.
I was in high school. I was hungry.
It's like, see, that's the thing. Like,
Straight
there's
to
either
jail.
illegal or like, there's no in between.
You know what? Like, because the Walmart's connected to the McDonald's, right? So I took it, and I was like, man, I really don't want to spend this, because in high school you don't really have a lot of money, right? So I was like, yo, I'm gonna go to McDonald's. I actually need to get something. And I just and this thing, yeah. So
I'll say one. It's not that bad. I went into Best Buy and I stole a car stereo.
But okay, but wait, but wait, that's not borderline, dude. That's just illegal.
Okay, so
those
like,
like hours.
in
Like,
high-
I don't think there's anything that you can say that's
okay, this was
borderline.
illegal. I stole a car stereo. Okay, in high school, I had these big shorts with big pockets. And I took a single DIN stereo. It was like probably this big. It was like a Sony stereo for my friend's car. He just got a car. He got the Acura EL 1.6.
I
We're
miss my
like, yo,
EL.
we need to put a
Yeah.
stereo in there. So we went in, like we were gonna buy one, but there was nobody there. So he starts opening the box to see if it came with like the microphones and stuff. This guy started taking the wiring harness, the microphone, everything. All that was left in the box was a stereo. Took the stereo out and I shoved it in my side pocket like this.
Oh my god, bro!
And nobody saw. Like the staff weren't around. Like it was like free game. Should have taken a better one.
I don't know if I want to answer mine.
Say it.
Okay, let me go back. I'll just say like the first incident. I was in grade 5.
I think I heard this one.
Yeah, so me and my boy, we went to Dollarama at lunch break. I'm like, yo, we want some chocolate bars so badly.
You're like you're like a rabbit. Yes. Okay.
So
Easter bunny.
Easter bunny.
I just opened up my backpack and my boy just went and grabbed some like Hershey's chocolate, Hershey's cookies and cream bars, some Kit Kat chunkies. I threw it on my backpack, right? We're walking around. I just grabbed some guy comes and grabs me on our shoulders. This is the janitor. He saw everything that happened. He's like, oh fuck. It's all right. Come to the back. Manager's there. Call the cops. Cops show up. I'm grade 5, dude. And they come to like, so you stealing all these chocolates? I'm like, no, I got money for it. Like, where? I pull out a $5 bill. They're like, but you got like, I think it was like 11 chocolate bars or something. I'm like, yeah, but some of them are like 2 for $1.
You are trying to tell him about the price.
Holy shit! I got to take it back to school in a cop car. My teacher saw me in the sitting down at the office. Saw the police bringing me into the school. My teacher's like, "Well, thanks, boys. I heard they were sneaking around somewhere."
Oh my god!
I got home, bro. My mom bust my ass with some chocolate bars. She's like, "Hey, you want teeth chocolate so bad? Here, that's free dinner." I'm like, "Nah."
Dinner.
Yeah, I'm like, "Nah, I'm not hungry." She took out the old Henry bar, bro. The big old Henry bar.
She beat you with it? Yes.
Beat my ass with it, bro. I don't like chocolate that much anymore. I stay away from chocolate as much. Like, no, I still get my sweet tooth, but yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. I was little. I stole Play-Doh from Dollarama. I used to like open up the Play-Doh and mix it all up and put it in my pocket.
Or those whole section or just keep for us. So.
Anyways, thank you for our question.
Anyways, that was episode 5 of the Mindset and Madness podcast. If you like this one, please. Yes, featuring Rashawn, aka Rabbit,
aka Trey
of the Trey Fam Podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Man.
thank you for taking the time, man.
Appreciate it, guys.
All the best in your endeavors, brother.
If you like this episode, you should like this episode. Give us a 5 stars. Give us a like, comment, subscribe, share it up. 5 stars on Amazon Podcast and Spotify.
Apple.
Always say Amazon.
Did I say Amazon?
Yeah. Always say Amazon.
5 stars on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff.
We're on YouTube, full video.
Yeah, YouTube, full videos.
Instagram, TikTok. We're going to put all Sean's socials and his sister's Twitch as well. So thank you guys. And till the next episode, we need like a saying to close it. Stop fucking deep chocolate. Peace.